Hey, hey, hey. We
Mhm.
are back. Episode 4, y'all. We just wanted to dive right back on into this conversation of toxic attachments, right? I am your Big Mama 5.0, Nikki, and your favorite Auntie 5.0, Hope. We are here to have never avoid real conversations with you today. And we are so glad that you are joining us in on this conversation. So, toxic attachments part 2. We really was touching on a lot of things in our part 1. So, in part 2, we wanted to do what? What did we want to talk about, Hope? In part 2?
Basically, we just want to talk about we touched a lot on the first part, but I want to talk about me personally, and I don't want the misconception that we saying that you need to do this, and this,
Yes.
or trying to bust up anything that's not the purpose in this. It's
Yes.
just a conversation,
Just a
and
conversation.
that's all we have. And
Yes, we're
so,
having real conversations, y'all.
just
Real conversation.
real conversation. So to take it out off of that totally, so it won't feel like we're dictating to what people should and shouldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
We're just gonna bring it back around to ourselves and tell you how we was in one. I was
Yes.
in a couple,
Mhm, yeah, yeah.
but
Mhm.
I'm in a better place. Better place. Thank you, Jesus. I'm in a
Yeah,
better
thank you.
place, you know.
Oh, thank you, Lord. Ah,
So
I'm on the other side.
I'm on
Thank you.
the other side of that
Thank you,
mountain.
Lord.
No
Hallelujah.
longer
Thank you,
looking back.
Jesus. Ooh,
Mhm.
Lord.
But truth be told, and then I have to say this too. Let's just have this conversation. I had to really evaluate what
Yes.
I was doing because
Come
I
on.
was I was seeking out. I'm just gonna say I was seeking out a certain type of man,
Mm-hmm.
and that was my thing, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and it just wasn't good for me. I can look at it now. That thing that they possessed, I
Yes.
I mean, it was just like, um,
Like a fixation.
yes. I was trying to find a
Mhm.
word for it. It was like it's
Yes.
for me, like
It
it's
just
a or something.
yes, like I just had if I didn't have it like 1, 3, 5, and 7, I
Exactly.
didn't want it.
I didn't want it, but
Mhm.
not like this. Toxic. Like
Okay.
I'm passing up all these other guys that could be
Look, how
good,
many times have we said, you know what, he a little crazy. He over here doing it, but he's so fine. Oh my God. I
yeah.
just got to have that. Oh, I know. He doing a little too much, but how many times have we done that?
I want it. And want
Right.
it.
I am guilty as charged.
Yeah. We talking about that this morning, okay?
Mhm.
I need to redirect my thinking
Yes.
and
Yes.
and open
So
myself
how
up
did
to
you do
bigger.
that? what was some of the things that you did in
Well,
your
I had to open
journey to
myself up to
help
bigger
you
things.
rethink
Mhm.
or reevaluate? How did you begin your reevaluation process?
Opening myself up to bigger things, opening
Mm,
myself up to not that specific narrative, exploring
okay.
other options.
Okay.
It's okay to fail.
Oh
It's
yeah.
good.
Oh
It
yeah.
is
It is
what,
okay to fail, y'all.
you know.
Yeah, that's how we learn,
You,
really.
that's how you learn.
That's how you learn.
That's how you learn.
Yeah.
And in coming to the realization that this isn't good for me
Mm-hmm.
because I was going through some changes,
Yes.
and
So there
you
was a lot of self-awareness that was happening
I had to come into that, and only
mm,
way that I came into that is that I had to spend a lot of time
with myself. Yeah.
with myself, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
conversations with Big Mama Nikki. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of conversations. I
Look,
was so bad. I said I need to stop calling her. I need to give her a break. My cousin said,
you
break.
look. And you know what? I thank God every day that I have a covenant relationship with a sister from another mother. And look, our mothers are our mothers. When we have conversations, we be like, your mama did, or your mama said. We both we referring to each other's mothers. It doesn't matter who mother it is.
Right.
But anyway, I'm so grateful because the reality is not only are we covenant in regards to just loving on each other and loving each other through our life situation, but we also hold each other accountable. And that's what that's what love is.
Absolutely.
Love is holding your whoever you're in a relationship with, friend, family, sister, brother, friend, boyfriend, husband. The accountability part is really where the love shows, because sometimes you just have to tell the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's hard, but it's hard to hear, but it's easier to absorb when it comes from someone that you know that loves you and your life and what is going on in the totality of your life. You receive it differently because
Absolutely.
you know they're telling you the truth, but you know they're not going to leave you without having the support you need to be better.
Mhm. I agree. I agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. So once I got out of the situation, and it's funny how it happens because even though I wanted to be out of it,
Hmm.
I was trying to get out of it, and it
Mm.
seemed like that person wasn't walking away from it.
Mm.
I just had to go down in prayer. I just had to go down in
Yeah.
prayer and ask the Lord to strengthen me and guide me in the direction that I need to go and to touch that situation because it was not beneficial for me at all.
Mhm,
At
mhm,
all. I mean,
mhm.
some things was just really going on that shouldn't be going on. You know how it happens. They go out with them crazy pop-ups and
Yeah.
places they shouldn't be showing up,
Yes.
and really putting you
I've
in a situation.
experienced that.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. So
And
I'm like,
and then to have that person call you out on it
mm-hmm,
because they thinking you doing something you're not supposed to be doing.
mm-hmm,
But what's so weird is, but how would you know that unless you was doing something a little different too?
exactly. You just told on yourself.
You just
Well,
told on yourself. And it's not even about being sneaky or whatever. It's just that trust factor. Some people don't have that trust factor. And then they have their own insecurities. And so it causes us to do things to
mm-hmm,
think that it's satisfying that security in knowing, but you really are looking very suspect in how you moving.
right. And then and even with all of that, like after I got out of the situation and I look back on it, it made me sad. And
Mm,
when I say sad is
yeah.
because
It's like a
I
sobering type of thing.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes. And I
Mm-hmm.
was just like, and like I said in part one, I didn't have that communication. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have it. And so
Mm.
when they started displaying these certain behaviors, I didn't know how to address it. I just knew that it wasn't
Mm.
something that I wanted.
Mhm,
And
mhm,
I know that I'm a faithful person.
mhm.
Whatever I'm doing doesn't necessarily have to be with my in my relationship, in whatever I'm doing, my work or whatever. If I'm in it, I'm in it.
Yeah.
And I know that I didn't want that.
Mhm.
And it wasn't, and then all along it really wasn't me. It was the issues that they was having,
Mm.
whatever they went through in the past.
Yeah,
Now it's trickling out on me, which is we find ourselves in these types of situations
absolutely.
that it's
Mhm.
not necessarily you per se, but it's what the person has gone, and that's why you got to do that vetting. You have to really get deep in there on the past relationships, what happened. And I'm not
Yes.
saying that, that you cast them away. You might be
Right.
that one person that helps them, because we
Could
go
be.
on in this lifetime, because I'm
Mhm.
very spiritual. I love the Lord. And we
Mhm.
just never know why people are put in our paths.
Correct.
Every person that you meet, it doesn't have to be a love connection,
It doesn't.
know.
And you
And
don't have to be a savior either.
exactly.
You don't have to save them
Walk
either.
it out,
There's
whatever
a
that.
balance with everything.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. But
Yeah,
yeah,
there's a balance with
I have to
everything.
move out on it. Just move
Mhm.
out on it, and have some real to myself,
Mhm.
and enjoy myself and love on myself, and
Mhm.
and not always and not always trying to be there for everybody.
Mm.
Not always being the one. I was in a situation in a relationship where that person really felt like it was the best thing ever when everyone was coming to them. That is stressful to me.
Look, you
Every
know
time
what?
the
That
phone
is
is
truly what
blowing
you
up,
call, yeah, that's what you call
oh,
a need addiction. That's a need addiction. I was delivered from that.
mm,
It's a need addiction, having people to need you. It fed something.
mm,
It fed something. It's
that's
really,
toxic.
it's like a martyr mentality, you know, but yeah, yeah, it is real. It's real.
And that's the biggest part of being toxic.
Yes.
And I just, and I'm like, and I don't get in, and I'm like that. I'm not that woman that will get in like, oh, why? Da, 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 da. If that's the family and those are your friends and they really need you, do what you have to do.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
then I started reevaluating what my position was. I'm like, if we get married or we decide to have a long-term relationship, is this something I want to deal with?
It's a good
Is
question
this
because
something you
the
have to
reality
deal
is you're not just marrying him, you are
with?
marrying the family and the children too.
Exactly. 2 o'clock in the morning, you get a call, you jump up and you leaving. I don't know. I'm just saying for me, this is where I'm at. And
I
I and
know.
I'm like, don't get me wrong, there are emergency situations
Absolutely.
that happen. I'm not numb to that. But
Right.
if we really gonna have a conversation about it, that's a bit much. And I'm not talking about sporadic, once in a blue moon. I'm talking
Mhm.
2, 3 times a week.
Right.
It
Yeah.
ain't that many fires you got to out.
Look. That need
And then some of them even got own husbands. Some of them got own husbands. Some got their own wives. Some of them had their own girlfriends, boyfriends. Some of them had their own
Mhm.
special spot, whatever. I'm like,
Whatever.
why they calling you? So now, of course, we going at it, but
But
nothing.
that need addiction is real. Feeling needed.
Mm.
It fills up a void for some people. And until you're able to crack the code as to why you feel like you need people to need you so much, it's you're pretty much susceptible to it until you really realize that it is something toxic within you that's causing the effect.
Right.
Because everything's a cause and effect. That's,
Absolutely.
everything.
Absolutely.
There has to be a cause in order to be an effect. So that's really a toxic trait. when you feel like you need someone to need you, because that's how you feel loved. That's how you feel like you're important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I left that. I had.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I get it. In a previous relationship, I experienced for the first time what it was like to have someone degrade me. I had never been in a relationship like that before. And so it was foreign to me. Um, but it led into some other things that later came out. But just to talk about that particular thing, because I was already grounded in who I was, what was being said to me was weird. Like it landed on me weird. Like, why would you say that? And then they would come back and be like, "Oh, I'm just joking with you. I'm just joking. You can't take a joke." And I'm like, yeah, but that doesn't sound like no joke though. And then you keep doing it. I told you I didn't like it, right? Even if
Mm-hmm.
it was a joke. Oh, I'm just calling you out because I'm a joke. I can't joke. I can't, I can't with you. I don't mind you being playful, but you're not being playful. What you're saying to me is too close to reality, bruh. And I'm challenged every time you do that. And when I tell you I don't like it, like don't joke with me like that, you don't stop.
Mm-hmm.
So what is that? If we are respecting each other, if you told me I was doing something that you didn't like, I would stop. Why? Because I love you and I respect you. And even though I'm not troubled by it, you are. So why would I keep doing it to you if it's causing you some type of friction on the inside? Why would I keep treating you that way?
Mm-hmm.
I never thought I would be in a situation like that. But it was a gateway to something even more um, big. And it led into some other things that took counseling. I had to go to counseling to come out of it, because it led me into that space to where I knew I was injured. Like I knew that when it was over and I had the will to walk away, that I wasn't right, that I was not right, and I needed help. I needed more help than just prayer and conversations with the ones that love me. I needed more.
Right.
I
Right.
needed somebody to help me unpack some stuff, because
Mm-hmm.
I knew that it was it left an impression on me that made me want to be more aware of how did I end up here, and what is it in me that's that's toxic, that's drawing this attraction. That's what it made me do. It brought
Mm-hmm.
me to a self-awareness that
Absolutely.
okay, there's something in me, because we attract what's in us. Even if we don't talk about it, we do attract what's in us. So we have to figure out what is it in me that allowed that door to open and to come into a relationship like that.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
put
at
it
that moment in time, it just, sometimes it could be just being vulnerable. You
Yeah.
know, you was
Oh
going
no,
through
that was it. That
a
was part
different
of it.
situation.
It
Yeah.
was it was my environment
Mm-hmm.
that was chaotic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because genuinely I'm a peaceful person, but my environment was so chaotic. I was going through issues on my job. I was having issues with my boss on my job.
Mm-hmm.
I was transitioning from one state to another. I was detaching from things that I had been a part of for a decade or more. So
Mm-hmm.
in a turmoil, right? I was topsy turvy inside, and then oh boy slip in.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah. Yeah.
how he got in.
Yeah. Yeah.
He slipped
Definitely.
in. You know, it's crazy because my dad, when I talked to my dad about it, he was like, "Yeah." He's like, he's like, he saw the opportunity, is
Mm.
what he did, because he had been watching you for a while, and he knew when to pounce. He knew
Right.
right when you would be open enough to let him in.
Right.
And he said, what you did, instead of just making it a relaxation and a temporary connection, you decided to build a house on sand. Okay.
Okay.
You
It
know,
was
you
quick.
look, dad
Quick.
was schooling me. He was schooling me, but he was telling the truth, because
True.
the reality was that's exactly what happened. I could have dealt with him and moved on,
Mm-hmm.
because really that's really what it was. But because I'm the type of person that attaches and have issues unattaching, guess what? I stayed. It became toxic. And then it fed all of these other things that
Mm-hmm.
happened. And then when it was time to get out, I'm grateful that I was already in a space in my life where I knew who I was. So I was okay with finally breaking it, because I knew it wasn't good for me. But then I had to put in the work to get back healthy again.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Man, I tell you, we can, let's just, when it comes to dealing with situations like that, and I think the reason why we're being so transparent is that none of us are void of dealing with crazy relationships, right? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, for me, let me just use my job as an example. I've been an entrepreneur for 17 years, but prior to that, I did work in the corporate world. And I always seem to end up with crazy bosses, yo. I had a boss, yo. Oh my goodness. This woman, okay, she just did not like me. Okay? She didn't like me. And I was, what you could say, in the scheme of things, I was a second in command. So she was first, I was second. And so she had issues with me because I knew how to mobilize our team. We had a team of 33
Mm.
people. And I knew how to get our team doing what they needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
I knew how to get them excited about it. Ain't nobody excited about coming to work sometime.
Mm-mm. It's
Mm-mm.
true.
And so I knew how to get our team excited to handle whatever we had to handle that day. And I would have thought, being that she was the top in command, that she would be happy about that, because she didn't have to do it. All
Right.
she had to do was just check in and make sure everything was good, right?
Mm-hmm.
She felt like I was stealing her thunder. That's what
Mm.
she felt. She felt like I was stealing her thunder. So when we had a heart to heart in the meeting in her office, she pretty much told me in so many words, I don't like you.
Mm.
And I pretty much told her, I don't care.
I heard it.
Because I'm here to do a job, yo.
Right.
Look, I'm hired here to do a job. I'm not here to be liked by you.
Exactly.
If you don't have a problem with what I'm doing, if I'm producing the numbers, we're getting the results that we need, the reporting is showing what it needs to show. Your upline is telling you that we are trending up. We have made progress in the last 6 months since I've been here.
Yep.
Why are we having this conversation? That's where
Right.
I was.
Mm-hmm.
And so she took offense to that,
Hmm.
right? And so ever since then, she was out. She was in it for me. In it, in it, in it. And no matter what, she was biting, 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 biting. But the upline who is over her, the senior people that's at the corporate office, saw the improvement, right? And because they do fair practice, they're just not going to give credit to the top. they're going to give credit to the one that's doing the work.
Uh-huh.
Right? So she didn't realize that that's what was going to happen. Right? Because she wanted to be the one to blow the whistle. Yeah, we winning over here. This is my team. Da, 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 da. So they gave her the props for that, but they also gave me props too. And so when they gave her the award that I was supposed to receive, she had to sign off on it. They sent it to her. It was like a little certificate or whatever. They sent it to her. And she had to sign her name on it. Do you know that this grown woman sat there and cried while she signed her name on that certificate because she did not want to acknowledge what I did?
Wow.
Even though her upline told her to do it. That's how much she, she has some toxic stuff inside.
Yes, she did. And didn't even see the bigger picture.
Didn't see the bigger picture.
Because if I'm here making us look good, you look good too. Let's look good.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
But it was even just about what she was doing. It's the fact that she got into that position and she was unable to produce.
Okay.
Producing. And she had issues with that inside. And she wanted to project that on you so that she can feel justified in her feelings. But it didn't work.
It didn't work.
I just hope that in situations like that, what can we do? We can only just go through it and learn, live, and move on.
Exactly. Yeah. And to know that you have options. Because truth be told, that situation didn't end well for me. But what it did do, because I got fired from the job, because she set up enough evidence against me to push me out. But what it did do is it pushed me into what I'm doing now in regards to my entrepreneurship. And I've been doing it for 17 years. So you don't know why things happen the way that they do.
Right? I live by that.
We don't know why. But I mentioned that because that is a toxic attachment. Absolutely. Why are you being toxic with me? Just like Hope said, why would you not look at it and look, we winning? That's not how she saw it. She thought I was stealing something from her.
Horrible. But that's the way it is. That's what we're talking about right now. Toxic situations where you're into that. It's not healthy for you, not healthy for the people around you. And you're going in thinking that you are going to be the whiz kid and everything is wonderful. And then all of a sudden, bam, you hit with that. And they're just like, wait, what?
Exactly.
What's going on right now? And that's the way I've been, even with that, what you're saying for the job. I've been in jobs where I come to work. First of all, when you come to work, I work, in the school system. And we don't have a dress code. We don't. But within that, within there, you're still supposed to dress appropriately. And for me, at the time, I was substitute teaching. And I had a little more leisure on what I wore, so I tend to wear heels and, they was hating on me for that. Why you come to work just like that? I'm like, hold up. We are serving the public. I'm meeting parents every day. What do you mean? Why am I wearing heels and why am I wearing suit pants and suit jacket and a blouse and my hair is done? It's not right. And I was like, don't even get me on that scarf. And I wear my scarves too, but when I do wear them, it's like in a manner where it's like a part of my dress.
Yes.
Code, not just throwing out with something wrapped up in front of my head and like I just got up and said I ain't doing nothing this morning.
But let me caveat that our grandmama now was like, you gonna walk out with your hair done. That's what we come from.
Play around and get beat in the neck if you want.
Don't you go outside looking like that.
If you let out go, I promise you.
Look, we from Alabama. They don't play that.
You is not getting that car. I promise.
Our ancestors are from Alabama. You hear me?
Listen, you got beat for making them late because your hair ain't done, and then you got beat because they had to come in there and make you do it, and then you turn around and got beat because you had the attitude to think that you were gonna do it.
Okay. But
Okay.
go ahead. You were talking about the
Yeah.
scarf. I just had to plug
No,
that.
but I'm just saying, no, I'm just saying about the whole thing about the job. Like I
Mhm.
said, it can happen in any aspect of
It
your life, how
can.
people want to treat you and make you feel some kind of way.
Yes.
And because they have issues in their own selves, and that the projection
And they
is always
project
there.
it.
The projections are
Yes.
always there, and you have to be in a place where you can identify on what those projections are. And I was very
Yes.
secure in who I was.
And not own it. Like, don't take their
Oh no, it's not.
projections
I
as
know,
yours,
but that's the security. That's the self
Yeah, that
esteem and
is.
self assurance that I had, and that I knew that however it may be, that's not me. And then once, and this is where the problem is, you don't even know me. But once they started to understand me and get to know me and know my
Yes.
personality and who I was, and they would even say, "Oh, somebody may say, why she just like, oh, that's just Hope. That's just how she
Right.
is. That's just what she does."
That's
But
what she
before you even
does.
start um criticizing or labeling, get to
Yes.
know what that person is, and how they are. Some people may just want to be, oh, then when I get to find out that maybe you was having some issues with your hair, and whatever the case may be, not
Mm-hmm.
putting nothing on that. I want to make that
Yes.
clear. Everybody has a
Yes.
choice. Everybody
Look,
is able to do what they like and what they want to do. I'm not doing it,
exactly. We
but
got freedom
for
of
me,
choice in
right,
this world.
for me. And I've been outside sometimes where I wear my scarf as well. I may run to the store and this and that, but I know that if I have to be in a place for presentation, that's not going to
Yes.
be on me.
It's a different feel. Absolutely. And it does go back to security and reassurance within yourself, right? But we're
Mhm.
going to pick that up in part 3, y'all. Hey, so make sure you tune back in as we continue this conversation
Right.
about toxic attachments, part 3. Again, I am Big Mama 5.0, Nikki, and your favorite Auntie 5.0, Hope. And we are here to have never avoid real conversations. And we look forward to you being with us next time. Make sure you join
Yes.
us now because we got to continue this conversation. But
Yes.
until then, y'all have a great day.